here, Hubcat Nation. The door is gone, so how did I get the door off? Well, I kind of sat the door down on the chair pretty much, unbolted the hinges over here, right in here, unbolted the hinges at the top, unbolted the hinges at the bottom, let the door down on the chair, took the bolts out with my little electric wrench, moved the door over there to the garage door. So the doors aren't super heavy. If you're reasonably strong, you can pick the door up and move it. So that opens this all up because now we're going to start on the floor. We're going to start on the floor and the rocker. So this is going to be fun. You guys got to stick with me. Watch how I do this. This is okay. This is kind of fun. Stay with me. Okay, everybody. So we're back. So I'm going to cut a little of this rocker panel out here, right here. I'm going to just make nice, slow, easy cuts. I'm not going to cut too much. I'm going to cut it across here so I can kind of see what I got in the back here versus cutting the whole darn thing up. So I'm going to cut it back across here. I'm going to cut it all the way across here. So it may take a little while, but I'm going to cut this across here and show you kind of how you want to do this. The idea is to cut all this stuff here out of here, so I'm going to cut this section here. I'm probably going to leave the bead here at the bottom, the pinch weld, just so I got something to put the other new rocker panel up to kind of line it up. You're really not going to notice any difference with it, but yeah. So I'm just going to keep cutting this. So I'm going to keep cutting here. We'll see how far I get. So you want to keep looking. You kind of always want to look. I don't think there's any other support pieces on the inside of here, but if there is any support pieces on the inside of here, kind of want to make sure you don't, I don't want to cut anything else. So I'm just going to keep cutting here. Stay with me, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, so the idea now is I kind of want to see what I got behind this, right? I don't want to cut something I shouldn't cut. I don't want to do anything. So I'm just going to pry this back a little bit because I'm going to cut this out of here anyways, right? So let me just pry this back a little bit and just kind of see what we got on the inside of here. Always look. Always see what you're dealing with. Always see what you're doing, because if you can't see, then you don't know. And if you don't know, then that's a bad thing. So don't kind of go willy-nilly. Nobody likes willy-nilly. Willy Vanilli. Milli Vanilli. Remember? But not, what did they do? Weren't they the people that lip sync? Wasn't that Milli Vanilli? Anyways, you don't want to go Milli Vanilli in here. So we want to kind of look. So I can see this is nothing but a rocker here that's kind of rusted out. So I'm going to cut the rest of this out, probably down in here somewhere. Cut this out, get this out of here, and then probably cut this upper section here out of here also. So I'm going to cut this all out of here. So stay with me. I'm going to keep cutting. But like I said, you want to make sure you look. Look. Just like crossing the street. You don't want to get freaking whacked with a bus, right? Kind of getting like whacked with a bus. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep pulling this apart. I'm going to keep seeing what's going on here. You guys stay with me here. So guys, if you notice, so I cut this outer rocker here out. The inner rocker actually looks pretty good. So I'm kind of satisfied, kind of happy with the way the inner rocker looks. I'm going to cut the rest of this across here, up along the top here and get all this crap here out of here. So I'm going to cut the rest of that out of there. Definitely going to cut that out of there. But I'm going to leave a center rocker. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good. I'm going to clean it up, paint it. It's a little surface rust, but nothing's through, no crazy cratered acne in that thing. So I'm just going to cut that. Just going to leave that and just cut this out up here and cut this across here. Get this all cut out of here and replace this rocker. So stay with me. I'm doing this step by step, trying to help you out along. If you've never done this before, man, you can do this. I'm telling you, you can do this. Nobody cannot do it. Okay? How about that one? How about that? If you want to be negative, let's say nobody cannot do it. But I'm going to say you can do it. So that's pretty positive. That's a positive comment. Think positive. Think happy thoughts. Just like Bob Ross, man. This is your happy little tree, or your happy little place, or maybe it's happy little river. But you can do this. Hey, Richie D here. I'll be back. Stay with me. We got more to come. Okay, kids, we'll be leaving it at today. So I cut the old rocker off. I think somebody already put a new rocker on here one time because these definitely aren't factory welds here. This is a plug-in weld here. Somebody drilled that a little bit and welded that. So I cut all this stuff off here. So I'm gonna replace this whole thing. Got this all cut up in front. Probably gonna cut this across here, I think, here in the front. Not gonna try to get this part here off. I think I'm just gonna cut this across here to give me a little bit more to tack to anyways. So, but that looks pretty good. I'm gonna finish cutting this out. I'm gonna fit the rocker on here. Gonna fit the rocker across here. Gonna get it fitted on there. And then I'm gonna work on the interior piece. So then I'm gonna work on getting this interior piece cut and on here then. So, like I said, just take your time. You can do this. It looks pretty daunting. It looks pretty scary, but man, it's no scarier than probably your first date. So no worries. You can do this. Hey, Richie D here for Hubcap Nation, where we drive the vibe, and I'll see you next time.